Kia ora. Over Christmas we had family staying with us and I was lucky enough to score this little tank. It's ideal as a quarantine tank, something I didn't have, 32 litres or 8 US gallons. We also thought about its initial use as possibly a pond life tank where we could put in such things as dragonfly larvae, damselfly larvae, water boatmen, water beetles, snails, flatworms, nematodes, cyclops, hydra, whatever we could scoop out of the pond. Loaded up with nets and containers, they went off to explore the local creek. Even in this small section of creek we've got some Altinantheria reinecke, also some Glossostigma, and further out in the main stream there's plenty of Elodia. I'd also asked them to scoop up some mud from the stream bed. I thought this would be good to seed the tank with bacteria and any eggs or other little critters. There were also some small fish, and it'd be quite good to be able to identify those. And of course they had to be sure not to upset the local residents while doing their collections. As tempting as it might have been, I was just glad they didn't bring home things that would not fit in the tank. I gather that they had an unexpected swim with the fishes, because they needed to change their clothes when they got back. The tank was set up using pumice as a substrate. This porous material would be ideal for harbouring bacteria. The sludge from the creek bed was also added, and I noted that there were some flatworms and other organisms in it. They decorated the tank with a rock and a piece of branch and added all the plants. They added the wildlife, including the apex predators, fish. The fish look very much like guppies, and there are also a number of water boatmen. The tank itself was supplied with an overhead trickle filter. The top cartridge was a filter to catch any of the larger pieces of debris, and under that I retained the sponges that they had supplied. At the bottom I put some ceramic rings. These I'd sourced from another tank, so in effect this water was fully cycled. Now it had originally been supplied with 2 carbon filters, but I had no need for these, so they were discarded, and the light seemed adequate for my needs. I also placed some filter wool in the intake so that we wouldn't catch too much of the wildlife. After searching online and consulting various books, we came to the conclusion that these fish were gambusia, or mosquito fish, first introduced into New Zealand in the 1930s, where they were to control mosquitoes in a pond. Unfortunately, they are spread to other waterways, and as they compete with our native fish, they are now designated as an unwanted organism. The next predator down the food chain would be this damselfly, and it would have a go at anything that moves. They breathe by means of 3 large external fin-like gills on the tip of the abdomen, and these may also help it manoeuvre through the water. Apart from the fish, all the wildlife seems to have died off during the next couple of weeks, so we abandoned the idea of having the pond life tank and did a quick makeover to display the fish to better effect. But the problem now is I no longer have a quarantine tank. I wonder what I can do about that. Well, thank you for watching. Ka kite anō.